Hello friends, welcome to ABHQ's channel. In today's video, we're going to configure DHCP Relay. DHCP or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is a network protocol that automatically assigns IP addresses and other network settings to devices on a network so that we don't have to configure them manually. Okay, so in this lab, we have two subnets. One is 192.168.1.0/24, and the other is 192.168.2.0/24. The DHCP server is on the network 192.168.1.0/24. So we're going to configure DHCP relay on G00 interface because we want these PCs also to get their IP address from the DHCP, which is not in the same subnet as these PCs. Okay, so let's start configuration from the DHCP first. Let's click on DHCP, Services, DHCP. Let's turn on the service and let's configure the pool name. Okay, so I will name it LAN1. Okay, the default gateway for the LAN1 is going to be the first IP in the subnet, 192.168.1.1. The DNS server is going to be the Google's DNS 8.8.8.8, and start IP is going to be 192.168.1 and 10. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. The maximum number of users, I'm going to leave it as default, and we're not going to configure TFTP server or WLC address. Okay, let's click on Add. Okay, so the pool for LAN1 is created. Let's create another pool for LAN2. LAN2, the IP address of the default gateway is going to be 192.168.2.1. The DNS server is going to be 8.8.8.8, and the start IP is going to be 192.168.2.10. And the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and the maximum number of users is going to be the default. And again, we're not going to configure the TFTP and WLC addresses. Okay, so let's click on Add. So we have configured two pools for these two subnets. Okay, so now let's configure an IP address for the DHCP. 192.168.1.5. Okay, this is the IP address of the DHCP server. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and the default gateway, it's going to be 192.168.1.1, and the DNS server is going to be 8.8.8.8. Okay, so the IP configuration of the DHCP is complete. Now let's configure the router. Let's click on the router. I'm going to start the configuration of the router on G01 interface first. Let's type enable, configure terminal, interface, G01. IP address is 192.168.1.1, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and no shutdown. Excuse me, no shutdown. Okay, exit. Okay, so now let's configure the G00 interface. Interface G00. IP address 192.168.2.1. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and no shutdown. Okay, so in G00 interface, we need to type the IP helper address to configure the DHCP relay because the DHCP is not in this subnet. These PCs need to get their IP address from the DHCP, which is in the other network. So we need to configure the IP helper address or DHCP relay on the G00 interface. Let's configure that as well. On G00 interface, let's type IP helper hyphen address, and now the IP address of the DHCP 192.168.1.5. Okay, so the DHCP relay is also configured. Notice that we didn't configure the DHCP relay on G01 interface. It's not necessary because the DHCP is in this subnet, and the devices in this network can reach DHCP without DHCP relay agent. Let's click on the PC in this network. Let's click on desktop IP configuration, and let's click on DHCP. Okay, so there is a problem here with the default gateway. Let's go to the DHCP services, DHCP. Okay, so the default server pool is interfering. Let's configure the default server pool all to be 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's save it. Okay, so let's go to the PC in the subnet once again. Let's click on static and DHCP. Okay, so the DHCP request is successful and the IP address is assigned. Okay, now let's go to PCA and try to get IP address from the DHCP from PCA. Okay, so the DHCP request is successful and the IP address is assigned. And let's go to PCB, desktop IP configuration, DHCP. Okay, so PCB is also able to get its IP address from the DHCP. Okay, so for the final test, let's ping from PCB to this PC to see the connectivity. Ping 192.168.2.10. Okay, so PCB is able to ping this PC in here. Okay, so this was the configuration for the DHCP relay. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to your channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.